incredible. Jay Jaffe from Fangraphs.com. You can follow on Twitter at J_Jaffe, wearing his honk ball shirt, which obviously means he's ready for opening day. Good to have you back, Jay. How are you today?
Hey, I'm all right, Steve. How you doing?
I'm good. I think like a lot of fans, and now we've gotten spring training out of the way. Heard some tough news today about 4 Washington Nationals players that are down with COVID. But, other than that, so far been pretty positive as we get ready for the start of the 2021 season.
Yeah, I'd heard that there was a situation with regards to Nationals players. I didn't hear which players it actually was, though. Been running around here the last several minutes, so don't know who does it pertain to.
We haven't heard yet. We just heard that there's 4 players. I don't think they've actually made their names just public yet. I'm sure that might come out soon, especially when you look at the opening lineup tomorrow against the Mets, but haven't seen anything yet about that. But, I mean, let's be honest, Jay, we got through opening, we got through spring training. We're not out of the woods even close as far as COVID goes, and I think people are starting to realize that now, that even as fans start coming back to ballparks and we start seeing larger crowds, until all the players get vaccinated and put themselves in that spot, we're still going to be talking about this a lot during the 2021 season.
Yeah, and it's going to be a factor also, when it comes to reduced capacity in ballparks and the difficulties that, individual fans may have in wanting to get to a game. I mean, I think, people would like to get to a game, particularly once they are, they feel like they're safer, they've been vaccinated or whatever. But the sobering reality is that it's going to be hard to get tickets to these games, in at least in some markets. At least initially. But I think on the whole, this is an opening day that is full of hope, because with the mass vaccinations, we can at least imagine a semblance of normalcy here in the not too distant future.
I agree with you. All right, let's go division by division and get some of your outlooks for the season. I'm always interested in dark horses and teams that you really think might not play up to expectation. We'll start first in the AL East. You're there in New York with the Yankees and company. How do you think this year is going to work out in the East?
Well, the Yankees right now, I'm looking at the playoff odds we have up at Fangraphs.com. We have the Yankees as having the best team in the American League with a projection for 95 wins. No other team in the AL is projected for more than 89 wins. The Yankees are the clear favorite right now. I think that there's a lot of concern about the rotation. They've got a lot of guys who missed significant time last year, and they're counting on Corey Kluber, for example. Who, 2-time Cy Young winner, who's made just one appearance in the last 2 seasons. Domingo Germán, who was suspended for all of last year and late 2019 due to a domestic violence situation, and eventually Luis Severino, who missed all of last year due to Tommy John surgery. Yet they still have more depth than any other team, probably in the entire league, and they look like a powerhouse. But I suspect that we're going to get at least one wild card team out of this division. The Blue Jays are much improved. They won't have George Springer in their opening day lineup, but they do look to be a stronger team than before. The Red Sox and Rays we have as kind of slightly above 500 teams. The Rays, of course, traded away Blake Snell and lost Charlie Morton to free agency. They don't look like the powerhouse that they were last year when they went to the World Series. The Red Sox get Eduardo Rodriguez back, and we'll be getting Chris Sale back at some point. They look like they're at least a 500-ish team, but they don't look like a powerhouse. They certainly pulled up short of doing some impactful moves over the winter, but they won't be quite the eyesore that they were last year.
All right, let's go from the AL East to the NL East right now. You've got the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, the Marlins, and let's not forget the Nationals, who won the series a couple of years ago. Do you believe, top to bottom, this could be the deepest division in all of baseball?
I think actually it'll rival the AL East in terms of depth. I think the Mets, with the changes they've made in the last since we last saw them, I should say, the addition of Francisco Lindor, the return of Marcus Stroman, eventually the addition of Carlos Carrasco, who's out right now with a hamstring injury, some bulking up in the bullpen. I think this is an improved team. They look to be slightly better than the Braves, although I think our projections are undervaluing the Braves pitchers, particularly Ian Anderson, who's my pick for the National League Rookie of the Year. I do think those two teams are a clear step ahead of the Nationals. Obviously, there's some concerns about Steven Strasburg. The lineup just, they have not adequately replaced the Anthony Rendon, who left via free agency after the 2019 season. I think that they'd have a strong 1-2-3 with Scherzer, Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin. But beyond that, this is kind of a stars and scrubs team. The Phillies, I think that they have some very good players there, but they have not been able to put it all together. Bryce Harper, Aaron Nola, JT Realmuto, but the whole has been less than the sum of the parts in recent years. It wouldn't surprise me if they somehow challenge the top two teams in that division, but I'm going to wait and see before I get too excited about that prospect.
What do you put the Marlins this year in the East?
Not pushovers. We don't have them as more than a 71 win team right now. I'd take the over on that, but I don't think, or I do think that the lack of depth will show up over the course of a full season, where it didn't really have as much of an impact in the short season last year.
Okay. Now let's move over to the AL Central. Then we'll get back to the NL Central. We'll keep going around until we finish with the West. AL Central, I kind of wonder, is this the year that the Chicago White Sox arrive under Tony La Russa, or do you still look at another team, perhaps the Twins or the Indians, as your pick?
Well, we had the White Sox ahead of the pack until the Eloy Jimenez injury, but he's now out 5 to 6 months due to a ruptured pectoral tendon. I wrote about that for Fangraphs today. Actually, the ways that they're going to try to replace him, it's a lot, because you're talking about a guy who projected to hit upwards of 30 home runs and be a 3 to 4 win player, even with lousy defense. But as it is, I think we have the Twins right now edging ahead of them on the basis of the loss of Jimenez and no clear plan to replace him. The Cleveland is a definite step back. They've shed a whole lot of pitching in recent years and really have some holes in that outfield. The Royals are much improved. I think the Royals could battle Cleveland for third place in that division. They were fairly aggressive this winter, adding guys like Carlos Santana and Mike Minor. The Tigers are coming along. They're not going to be a 100-loss doormat this year. They've got some exciting young pitching, but I think it's going to take a while for it all to come together.
NL Central, let's go there next. I mean, you've got this could be the worst division in baseball, Jay, because the Pirates are going to be awful. I worry about the Reds after their offseason, losing all their pitching. And then you look at the Cubs and you kind of wonder what they're doing. And then maybe it comes down to ultimately the normal teams like the St. Louis Cardinals, who have been there before, and you kind of wonder if they get challenged this year in the Central by the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, this is a team where it's just, this is the division where you've got 4 teams, everybody but the Pirates lumped between 79 and 83 wins. And I just look at all the missed opportunities over the winter. Obviously the Cardinals made a big move with Nolan Arenado. I still think that they need an innings eater, a guy like Rick Porcello in that rotation, because they have so many injury risks. I wrote about that, I think it was last week. The Cubs have decided to tear down what was a division-winning team last year. They traded away Yu Darvish. They've traded away, they've shed a lot of other talent. They still do have Chris Bryant, and I expect he'll make a return to being, one of the top players in the league. But I also think that if that happens, he very well could be traded.
I agree with you. All right. We're going to get back more with Jay. We'll get to the West and his predictions for MVP, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, and all that good stuff. And don't worry, we're saving the beer pick of the week for the end, like we do each and every week. Before we get to Jay, though, let's get right back to Adrian. He's standing by with this bottom of the hour Sports Center update. It's part 2 of our MLB preview right now with Jay Jaffe from Fangraphs.com. Again, Check him out at Fangraphs. All of his great work. He mentioned the story on Jimenez with the White Sox and a lot of his other work as he gets ready for the start of the season, like we all do. In fact, just looking at some of Jay's stories, he's got the Runid Odor contract situation that's up as well, and plenty of other articles at fangraphs.com. All right, Jay. Let's get back to the annual predictions that we do with you, and we go right to the West. Start with the AL West. Now, we've seen some interesting storylines this offseason from teams that are using six-man rotations. I almost like to say that this is the six-man rotation division because the Angels are going to employ that, the Mariners are going to employ that, and then, of course, you got Oakland, who's consistent year after year, and Texas wondering if they can ever break through. How do we see the West so far?
Well, I think the Rangers are clear also, Rans. I think the Mariners are not there yet. Both of them may be moving in the right direction, but they're going to be out of the money here. I actually think that the Angels are kind of the sleeper team here. I like what they're doing with their pitching staff here. For once, not only do they have six starters, but they have six starters that don't make me want to cringe. Keeping them all healthy will be an issue. The one, obviously, that everybody wants to see, myself included, is Shohei Ohtani. He's generally looked pretty good in spring training, although he took a beating the other night against the Dodgers. Got a blister problem here that is cause for at least minor concern. But man, his bat has been fantastic this spring. I don't want to get too attached to the notion that spring training stats mean anything, but obviously it's some very encouraging signs there, and we hope he can put it together. The Astros, that's a team we have them as the second best team in the AL, projected at 89 wins. But I look at Jose Altuve's season last year, Carlos Correa's season last year, the lack of depth in that rotation, although they did go out and add Jake Odorizzi once there was concern about Valdez. I can see it all falling apart for them. I don't like that they didn't really do anything in center field. They're letting Miles Straw take over there instead of replacing George Springer. Kyle Tucker obviously is a big deal though, and I like that they retained Michael Brantley. But I can see enough things going wrong that the Astros missed the playoffs this year, even though we do have them, projected as the division favorite here. The A's, I think we always underestimate the A's. They're a tough team. They always seem to come up with good pitching in particular, and glad to see Matt Chapman back. I think this is going to be an interesting division, and I look forward especially to Ohtani. Maybe we'll get to see Mike Trout in the playoffs for a change.
Speaking of interesting, and there's no disrespect to the Rockies, Diamondbacks, or Giants, because they could all be players this year in the NL West. Do you believe the Dodgers-Padres rivalry will live up to the hype here this season?
Yeah, I think you've got two of the, maybe 4 or 5 best teams in baseball here. The Dodgers, we have them projected for 99.6 wins. I mean, that's just ridiculous. They have so much depth. The way that they're going to be shuttling pitchers back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen. I mean, they have the luxury of so many arms, at least right now, when everybody is apparently healthy. The Padres were the most aggressive team in the major leagues. They get to debut Yu Darvish tomorrow, which is everybody's very excited about. Obviously, hoping for a full season of Fernando Tatis Jr. Got Blake Snell. They added Blake Snell via trade. They added Austin Nola last year. It's a stacked lineup. Even up and down. You're gonna see, I think, a lot of moving around positional flexibility, and I think that they're going to be a 95+ win team here. The Giants, they're improving, but I think they're a year or two away from being competitive. We have about an 18-win gap between the Padres and the Giants. That's number 2 and number 3 in the division. The Diamondbacks, I don't really know what they're doing. They're tearing it down again, or they've already torn it down again, and they don't seem to be moving in the right direction. The Rockies, I don't know, about all due respect, I don't have much respect for that franchise right now. They paid $50 million to make Nolan Arenado go away. They're just so incredibly inept at the executive level. I don't know how they expect this team to be watchable. Just mistake after mistake. More than $300 million in free agents spent by Jeff Bridich for replacement level production. And that's even with Ian Desmond opting out of the past 2 years due to COVID concerns. It's just they've become the league's laughingstock.
Let's get your predictions as far as awards go then, Jay. And we'll start it first with your MVP. I know you mentioned to me a little while ago one of your picks for Rookie of the Year with Ian Anderson. We'll get back to that in a moment. But first off, how about the MVPs in both leagues?
Let's see, boy. I just had to fill this out for Fangraphs. I had Mike Trout in the American League. And I think I had Ronald Acuna Jr. in the National League. Tough call between him and Juan Soto. Cy Young wise, who did I have?
Did you go with DeGrom?
I think I went with DeGrom. It was either DeGrom or Darvish.
Okay.
And American League, I think I went with Cole.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember if I went. I think I went with Garrett Cole. Rookies of the Year. Like I said, I had Ian Anderson in the National League. I can't remember who I had in the American League. Let me see if I can pull this up efficiently here. Before
Did you have Andrew Vaughn by any chance?
I did not have Andrew Vaughn. I'm trying to remember who I chose here. Offhand, I can't remember here. But I can get to this spreadsheet here momentarily. Hang on.
Okay.
Here we come. Nope, that's not the right spreadsheet. That's the opening day chat. I should say I'll be chatting on opening day. Kevin Goldstein will be joining me. We're doing the 1:00 game. I'll have my eye on the Yankees game, and he'll be watching the Tigers game. Okay, here we go. Oh, I have Randy Rosarina as the AL Rookie of the Year, building off that incredible showing last October when he set a record with 10 home runs. I think we got everything. Yes, it was Garrett Cole for my AL Cy Young pick.
Okay. Your pick for the World Series, who do you think is going to be there this year?
Oh, who do I have here? I think we have a good chance of Dodgers Yankees. I'd love to see it. And if not the Dodgers, I think it'll be the Padres. If not the Yankees, I don't know who we're going to see here. Maybe the White Sox.
Okay. If they come back from the injury, because assuming they could actually get Jimenez healthy in the last month or two of the season. So.
Yeah, I think 5 to 6 months. Look, I'll take the under on that. I think that's a conservative estimate. I hope he's back. I do hope also that they think about DHing him, but I do think that they're also going to need to get an interim solution besides Andrew Vaughn. I know Vaughn's a hitter. I think he's going to be fine at the plate, but asking a guy to make a jump from high A in the alternate site to the majors is a tall order, even when you're not having to learn a new position. And the guy, between the scouting grades on him for his fielding, his throwing, and his running, this just does not look like a recipe for success.
Let's wash it all down with your beer pick of the week. Okay,
this is one I've probably mentioned before. This is Own the Night from Radiant Pig, which is a relatively local brewery. I know that they contract brew this actually in Newport, Rhode Island, but they are a New York entity. Other than that, this is a hazy IPA of theirs, weighs in at 6.7%. It's got your typical tropical notes. This one has double dry hop with Mosaic, Citra, El Dorado, Simcoe, and an experimental hop called X06277, which makes it all sound very super secret and interesting. But it's a great beer. Radiant Pig, between this one and one they do called Save the Robots, and another one called TV Party. These are staples of our household rotation. We get whatever's fresh, and we enjoy them all. They're readily available at our grocery store, and that's a really cool thing.
I know you've done home brews before. Is there a chance that the Jaffe family will ever try to grow experimental hops in their Brooklyn, New York apartment?
I don't know that that's happening anytime soon, but we do have an aero garden. So if you can grow hops in an aero garden, maybe.
Good. I'm looking forward to it. Enjoy opening day. Thanks for the conversation as always, and appreciate all the insight, Jay.
All right. Sounds great, Steve. Thanks a lot.